For centuries, there's been a powerful argument used to question the very heart of Christianity, the idea that Jesus' divinity was a late invention. The story often goes that Jesus wasn't officially called God until the Council of Nicea in 325 AD, making it seem more like a political decision than an original belief. But what if a stunning archaeological find, hidden for nearly 2,000 years, could completely upend that claim? What if, buried underneath an Israeli prison, we found physical, tangible proof that the very first followers of Jesus already called him God? Well, that's exactly what happened, and it's forcing us to rethink everything we thought we knew. To really get why this discovery is such a bombshell, you first have to understand the historical debate. The common skeptical argument points to a lack of early, physical evidence that Jesus was worshipped as God before things got official. The focus is almost always on the Council of Nicea in 325 AD. This was the big meeting called by Emperor Constantine, where the Nicene Creed was written, formally declaring that Jesus was divine. For many critics, this council is the moment the man Jesus was promoted to God. The narrative suggests that before this, ideas about Jesus were all over the place, and that his divinity was a top-down order to help unify the Roman Empire. This left a huge lingering question. Where's the proof that ordinary people, in the years right after his life, actually believed he was God? Was it a grassroots belief from the start? Or was it a theological doctrine forced on the church much later? For a long time, the physical evidence was thin, leaving a gap between the faith of the apostles and the formal creeds of the 4th century. But now, that gap is starting to close. Beneath a maximum security prison in northern Israel, archaeologists stumbled onto something incredible: a large hall with a stunningly preserved mosaic floor. It was a Christian prayer hall, dated to around 230 AD, nearly a century before Christianity was legalized, making it one of the earliest ever found. But the biggest secret was still hiding in plain sight, written into the mosaic's Greek lettering. As the team cleaned the 2,800-year-old mosaic, a dedication sent shockwaves through archaeology. The Greek text reads, "The God-loving Akeptus has offered the table to God Jesus Christ as a memorial." This is the earliest known archaeological discovery, the first physical inscription, to explicitly call Jesus God. The context is undeniable. The names Jesus Christ are written as nomina sacra, a special abbreviation for holy names, and nearby, 2 fish, the ichthys symbol, an early Christian acronym for Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior, are etched in stone. This mosaic does more than just settle a theological argument. It brings the people of the early church to life. We meet the God-loving Akeptus, the woman who donated the communion table, the heart of their worship. Her prominent mention shines a light on the huge role women played in leading and supporting early Christian communities. The mosaic also names 4 other women, Primilla, Syriaca, Dorothea, and Cresta, cementing their importance here. Then there's another fascinating character from a different inscription, Gaianus, also called Porphyrius, centurion, our brother, has made the mosaic at his own expense. A Roman centurion, an officer in the same army that killed Jesus, was a major donor to this church. Just think about what that means. The message of Christianity was powerful enough to bring together respected women and hardened Roman soldiers. This wasn't some fringe cult. This was an organized community, with a prayer hall funded by its own members, including a Roman officer. And their shared belief, etched into the floor, was that Jesus Christ is God. While the Megiddo mosaic is incredibly clear, it doesn't stand alone. It's part of a growing body of evidence that paints a consistent picture. For example, the Dura Europos house church in Syria, also from the mid-3rd century, is another home converted for Christian worship. It contains some of the earliest Christian art, with images of Jesus as the Good Shepherd and healing the sick. These pieces point to a faith centered on the divine power of Jesus. In the catacombs of Rome, art from the 2nd and 3rd centuries often shows Jesus as the Good Shepherd, a symbol of his role as a divine savior. And then there's the famous Alexamenos graffito, a piece of ancient Roman graffiti from around 200 AD. It's a crude drawing of a man worshipping a crucified figure with a donkey's head, and the caption mockingly says, "Alexamenos worships his god." As nasty as it was meant to be, it's powerful proof. It shows that by 200 AD, it was common knowledge to outsiders that Christians worshipped their crucified leader as a god. The mockery itself confirms the belief. These puzzle pieces from across the empire form a pattern. The Megiddo mosaic isn't an outlier. It's just the clearest piece of the puzzle we've found so far. So, what does this all add up to? It means the old narrative that Jesus' divinity was basically invented in the 4th century at the Council of Nicea is just not supported by the evidence. The Megiddo mosaic is physical proof from the early 3rd century, 100 years before Nicea, that a diverse community of Christians was openly worshiping Jesus as God. This belief wasn't forced on the church by an emperor. It was a grassroots conviction held by everyday people like Akeptus and the centurion Gaianus. They weren't just honoring a prophet. They were gathering for worship dedicated to God Jesus Christ. The Council of Nicea, then, wasn't creating a new doctrine. It was affirming and formalizing a core belief that was already deeply part of Christian worship for over a century, a belief we now have etched in stone. The Megiddo mosaic gives us a tangible link to the faith of the early church. It shows that the beliefs written down in the New Testament weren't just abstract ideas. They were the lived, practiced reality for communities that came after. It gives a name and a face to the people who carried their faith through dangerous times. People like Akeptus, who gave what she had, and Gaianus, who risked his career. This discovery adds a crucial chapter to the story of early Christianity, replacing old skeptical assumptions with stone-etched certainty. It's a powerful reminder that history is still buried right under our feet, waiting to be found. But what do you think? Does this discovery change how you see early Christianity? Is this the kind of game-changing proof people have been waiting for? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you want to explore more incredible discoveries that bring the past to life, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video.